back. We're back. As you guys can see on the screen, a flow diagram. This is a system created especially for GoLive, and as you guys can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stages. So this right here is a system designed by me especially for GoLive to help the team manage things better, to help our events become more and more successful as we go through. And let's get right into the first stage, right? So let's get to it. Let's get to the first stage. As you guys can see, the first stage is the discovery phase, which includes about 4 steps, right? As you can see, the first step is discovery. Basically, this is where we get the idea, the pitch of the events and what we want out of the events, right? As you guys can see, discovery, then the target audience. Right after discovery, we get to see who are we targeting, right? We want to define it. Who specifically are we targeting? Are we targeting 18 plus years old? Are we targeting all ages, free for all? Or are we targeting a specific group? Because let's remember, we are not just solely focused on a music festival or a specific festival. We are diverse. Therefore, there will be corporate events, meaning that we are not targeting our normal audience. We are actually targeting businessmen or people who genuinely want to grow. So here we define what is our target. Just like the park off, we defined our target. Car lovers, that was our target audience. It was people who liked cars, right? And then from there, we go on to the event vision brief. Basically, what happens in this stage is we get to define our goals, themes, or vibe, right? What do we want out of the event? What will be the theme of the event, right? Is it an all black? Is it a gala? Whatever it is. Here in this process, we get to define what it actually is. And in the last stage, as you can see, which is venue, preferences, and budget, here we get to define where we are going to hold the event, right? And what budget are we working under, right? We set a budget, we set a goal, we set a venue, we set our targets, our vibes, our themes. Basically, in the discovery phase is where we do most of the planning, right? And then we get to strategy, which is the second stage, strategy and planning. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where it actually gets fun, right? For some of us, this is the fun part, the planning and the strategizing of the event. This it is what separates us from any other event company. What planning we do, right? The strategies we input. This is where we very much differentiate from other companies or other people, right? As you can see, planning, strategy, and planning. And right, as you can see, we have a theme and a concept design. Basically, the mood board, the experience. What is the theme? Who or what are you trying to make people feel in the specific event, right? And then we have the event type mapping, right? Which is basically the same thing, right? we get to see what we want the people to feel, right? And then we get to budgets, breakdowns, and approval, right? This is the stage whereby we have gotten what we want, right? We know what type of event we want to host. We know the things that are needed. So now it comes down to how much do the things actually cost? Is it actually putting us in a huge loss, or are we using the right amount for specific things, right? Whether it be fences, whether it be stage, or whatever it is, or lighting equipment that needs to be rented. This is where we break it down. How much does it actually cost, right? And then we try to send it in for approval from the person that handles the budget, right? And he approves it. He sees whether or not we are making a loss or we are actually using the right amount. And then we do the event timeline, macro planning, basically what's gonna be happening in the event, right? At what time does certain things need to arrive? At what time is the performing artist coming in, or the guest speakers, or whoever it is that's coming through? Here we get to do that type of planning. When is the event actually going to start? When is the event actually going to end? Who's actually going to be performing at this time, or who's actually going to be speaking at this time, right? And then the success metrics and the goals, right? Here we want to look at the things that will make the event successful, what we believe is a successful event. Here we get to say maybe it's the amount of people that we wanted an event. If our goal is to have 200 people, and 200 people actually show up, that means that it was successful. This is where we define what a successful event actually is, right? Whether it's the financial goal, whether it's a financial goal, whether it's a community-based goal, whereas how many people actually came. This is where we define our success for each event. And now we go to the third stage. This is stage three. This is stage three, right? This is stage three. And here we basically look at the team structure and goals and roles, right? We have the assigned project manager, whoever it is that gets assigned into the project as the manager, who is going to oversee everything, right? The person who's going to be making sure that everybody is actually playing their roles, right? And then we get the roles assigned. So each person in our group is going to be assigned a specific role for that specific event. Creative director, stage manager, logistics head, tech operations, etc. Right? And then now we'll look at the vendors and the partner sourcing. Basically, here is where we look at the people who are going to be coming to our event, the people who are going to be selling snacks or whatever it is that they're going to be selling. These are the vendors, right? And then the partners, we're looking at people who actually want to partner up into our event. This is where we actually go through that type of process. Who's actually going to be selling, or who are we actually collaborating with, right? And then there's contract agreements and setups, right? Basically, we set up contracts that we can send out to specific people that make and solidify uh their their commitment to our events, right? This is where we make sure that everybody is on board. This is where we make sure that we lock in whoever we want to lock in to be committed, right? And in the last stage, as you can see, we have creative sync sessions, basically internals and collaborators, basically the people who we expect to be helping with marketing, our collaborators, our promoters and influencers, internals plus collaborators, as you guys can see, etc. And then we come to stage 4 right now. We come to stage 4, which is the pre-production, right? This is before the event, basically the day before the event, most probably, or the week before the event, most probably. This is where we actually get to confirm everything that's going to be happening throughout the event, making sure that it actually happens. As you can see, our creative assets finalization, visuals, branding, merch, everything. This is where we get to see what actually is solidified, what is actually going to be at our event, right? The merch, the branding, whatever it is, this is where we get to see it, right? And then we have the lineup or the talent or the speakers, right? If it's music focused, then it's the lineup, it's the people who are going to be performing, right? If it's a corporate event, then we're talking about speakers right here, right? And this is where we need to confirm week, day before. We're making sure that these people are actually locked in. We're making sure that these people are actually locked in, right? So as you guys can see, we need to be on time, we need to be on point, we need to be confirmed, we need to be assertive and be sure about what's actually going to be happening, right? And then we have the tech equipment, right? We have the tech. This is very important, the sound, the lighting, right? This creates the vibe. Without this, there is no event. Without this, there is no event. So, guys, we need to make sure that things like this are prioritized. Things like this, things like this, things like this. These are the things that need to be prioritized. Okay? So, as we go on, as we continue, the vendors, the people who are going to be selling the food, these need to be finalized, right? We need to be sure because these things are actually more people, right? These things bring on more people. So if we can get a person that sells gear or brand that is well known, essentially his customers are actually going to decide to come to our event, right? Their customers are actually going to come to our event, right? So we need to be on point with these things. We have the marketing campaign, right? Now, this is where it gets fun for some people, right? Actually promoting, actually promoting everything finalized. We make sure that our marketing campaign is on point. Our content. This is where we film, because without this, right, there will essentially be zero people, right? There will be zero people. But get this right, and we might get plus minus, right, 100 people, right? So this is very important. The marketing campaign is very important. We need to be on point. We need to be on time. These things are very important, right? These things are actually important. We need to be sure about everything. As we continue here, as we continue, right? Run of show created, right? Basically, this is where we get to plan everything that is going to be happening in our event. These are the important parts of the event. We need to get these things right. We need to get these things correct. And lastly, risk assessments and contingency plans. So if things might not go our way, we need to assess risk that is possible, right? We need to be making sure that we have medics or medical support in our events, making sure that people don't die in our event, making sure that people don't get dehydrated in our event, making sure that we have substitutes for certain things. We have substitutes for certain things. For instance, a DJ doesn't show up. We might have someone who knows how to DJ on site. That way we can fill them in, right? We need to be planning for these things because certain things do happen in events. Guys, we need to make sure that this is properly done. We need to plan for risk. We need to plan for anything that might actually happen in an event. So as we continue, and get to one of the pre-final stages, right? We have the execution day, the event day, right? This is where everybody is excited now. People didn't sleep the night before. People are very excited about the event, including myself, of course. This is where it gets interesting. Everybody's excited, everybody's fired up, people are up early, right? We need to meet up at a specific time as a team, right? Where we are briefing, right? Now, this is where we actually get to be hands on in the event. People need to be briefed on in terms of what role will you be playing today, and where will you be, where's your station, whatever it is. This is where we get to talk and finalize one of the very few things at the day of the event, right? The team, what role is someone playing, whoever it is. We need to get this done, right? And then we have the HQ setup, basically where we as a team meet up, or whatever it is, basically. So we need to set this up in every event whereby we know if there's an issue or something, people can actually get us here, or whatever it is, right? And then we have the MC or host rehearsals. This is whereby we are checking the mics, the sound system, the for the people who are gonna be performing. This is basically their time, right? In the morning, probably early in the morning or during the day before the event actually starts, we are making sure that everything is working correctly, that the artist, the performers, the producers, the DJs are actually good, right? And then we have obviously live social media coverage, right? Now we have our photographers, our videographers taking pictures, recording the whole event, making sure that they get good shots for publicity. This is very important. This is very important. This is important for publicity, right? We need this. We need this after events. We need this type of things happening. We need people recording. We need people posting about our events, because this essentially brings in more people. It brings in more people. It multiplies people, right? And then obviously operations checkup hourly. This needs to be done hourly, right? This needs to be done hourly, every hour. Everybody, the manager checks in, the event manager checks in on everybody. Are people at their stations? Are people actually doing their jobs, right? And this is done hourly, right? Are people where they are actually supposed to be? Not a disorganized group, right? Go Live is not a disorganized group. Everything is done with purpose, everything is done intentionally. Hence, everybody plays their part correct, making sure our events are successful. That's what separates us from the rest of them. That's what separates us from the rest of them. It's not disorganized, right? And then we have the audience engagement activation, right? Now this event has started. People, we need to get people fired up. We don't care what it is. We need to get people fired up, because people are our priority. They are important. They are fun. Their connection towards the community, towards Go Live community, towards our event. This is what we actually care about. Go Live cares about its people. We are focused on making sure that our events are actually fun. We make sure that our events are actually worth going to. We get people engaged. We get the audience fired up. This is where it gets lit, right? This essentially is what is most important to us, connecting with the audience. This is the part of the show where we get to do our best, connecting with everyone who has paid, connecting with everybody who has come to support us, right? And then we have the emergency protocols, right? Making sure that everything, just in case something goes bad, we're good, right? Just in case something goes bad, we are good, right? This is very important to us. Our people, the people who have actually paid, should not have to worry about whether or not they are safe, whether or not something might happen to them. They need to understand that they are safe, they are well treated. They don't need to worry about anything, because if an emergency occurs within our event, we'll be there to help them, we'll be there to solve their issues, right? And then we get to the final stage. The final stage, right? Post event. This is the final stage for us, right? This is the final stage, post event, right? Post event, stage 6, the final stage, post event. This is wrapped up. The event's wrapped up, right? Everything is done. We've done everything that we can to make sure that everybody is good. Now it's the next day, the following day. We are looking at key metrics. We are looking at cost of event versus the metrics, right? How much did we actually make, right? How many people actually enjoyed? This is more about how we grow as a company. This is where we get to show that we are not like the rest of them, right here, right? Because now we're looking at the pros and cons. What happened in the event? What affected the event in good ways? What affected the event in bad ways, right? This is it right here. And then we get the team's retrospect, right? This is where the team gets to say, no, he wasn't doing this. This is where you get to snitch on each other, right here, right? Because there has to be reprimands, there has to be things that are done correctly. Whoever wasn't playing their role, you get to tell, you tell everybody, you get to tell the manager, you get to tell the whole team that no, you weren't in your respective space when the event was happening. You were here and here, you were entertaining these people and these people, right? This is where we get to see who's actually real, right? Because we don't care whatever happens after the event. We are focused on improving, meaning that whatever is said, right, it needs to be recorded, it needs to be taken into account so that we can improve our following events. This is what we do here at GoLive. This is definitely what we do. We make sure that everything that we do is better than the next, is better than the last, right? And then we have media recap, right? I don't know why it's media, but this is media recap, basically. Basically, this is whereby we create the content, right? The photos that were taken by our photographers, we get to look at them. These get edited, this get posted, right? We get to look at our movie, right? Because in every event that we host, we launch a movie right after to show the activities that occurred in the event and how we handled the event, so that people know that we are not another event company or whatever it is. We are not just an event company. We are not just profit driven, but we are community driven. We are trying to create something that everybody connects to. We are trying to build a community that everybody can come and enjoy themselves and be themselves and be free. This is us. This is GoLive. This is what we do. This is home, right? This is home. We're trying to create a home for you guys, a place whereby you can connect. We understand that in this world that we live in, everything is fake, everything is online. We are trying to connect with you guys. We are trying to create a place that is authentic to you guys, a place where you guys can connect with one another, meet new people, right? Make new friends, make new family. This is us. This is GoLive, right? Right. And then here in the next one, this is where we get you guys, your guys's uh feedback. What actually occurred in the event? Did you guys actually enjoy what actually happened in the event, right? Who's who? This is what we're interested in, whether the event is for a client or whether we're hosting an event for ourselves, right? This is the follow up, right? This is where we get feedback. If our client was pleased, we are pleased. That's what we do, right? If you guys were pleased, we are pleased. That's what we want, guys. It's not just for us, it's for everybody to enjoy. The events are not solely based on profit. We don't care about profit. We don't care about profit. Our first event, we lost a lot of money. We only cared about growing an audience. We only cared about making sure that it was successful. That's all we care about. We don't care about the money that we make, right? As long as we probably break even, then it's okay, right? As long as we honest about that, like, as long as we break even, we good. As long as we break even, the 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 expense line up with the profits, right? Then we good. As long as the money we spend we get back, then we don't care, right? We don't care if we make profit, because at the end of the day, we are just trying to build a community for you guys, right here. And following that, following that, we have our final financial report, right? This is where we get to see whether or not we actually made profits or we made a loss. We go through this process whereby our accountant actually handles this and tells us the amount you spent was good, we made a specific amount, or we broke even, right? This is where we get to see, right, the business expenses versus the profits, which is okay, right? Which is probably what most of the people in the team actually come and see and actually care about, right? Making sure that they did not waste their money, making sure that the investors got their money back. This is what most people actually care about, right here. And then, lastly, or before last, basically, this is where we get to sit down. Just like I mentioned before, we look at the mistakes that happened in the events. We look at the bad and the good, and we focus more on the good. We try to multiply the good, and we take the bad and turn it into a sort of formula so that our next event is good or is better than the last. This is where we update our playbook, making sure that each event continuously is better than the other, making sure we bring better guests, making sure that we bring better people for you guys. This is what matters to us, right? And then obviously we have the nurture strategy. You see, like I mentioned before, we care about you guys. You guys are the ones that make our event successful. If you guys are happy, we are happy, because if you guys essentially are going to spend your own money coming to our events, then best believe we need to make you guys satisfied. Best believe we need to nurture you guys and treat you guys like the nice human beings that you are, making sure that you guys are actually good. This is what we care about. This is Go Live. Go Live is a community driven company. It is focused on creating the best events live. And like I said, we have come to the end of our video. And now I said I had something for you guys. I said I had an announcement. An announcement. Let's look at the announcement right here. I said I had an announcement. Right? I said I had an announcement. Let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Right? Care about you guys. Like I said, let's see what we have here. Let's see what we have here. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. Alright. Let's see. Let's see. Said I had something for you guys. Right. Said I had something for you guys. Right, y'all. I hit it for the end of the video. Huge announcement. huge announcement. I'm so excited. I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm most definitely excited. Right? This is the huge announcement. Go Live once again is hosting Whiteville, September 27th, 2025. Project X in Vulani Street, right next to the villa. The tickets are gonna be on howler.com. Project X. This is going to be the hood's largest event for sure. This is going to be the hood's largest event guaranteed. This is gonna be our best event yet. We're gonna make sure this is the best event you guys have come to so far in 2025. I'm so excited for you guys. This is not our last project this year. We have so much more projects coming up. This is what my team and I are gonna be working on in the next month, making sure that this is great. This is Go Live. This is one of the best teams that you guys can ever support. We are grateful, we are thankful for your support in our last event. This event is gonna be better than the last. We're gonna make sure of it. I can guarantee it. It's gonna be worth your guys' money. It's gonna be worth your guys' time. You better come. You better pull up. As you can see, Project X, right? Baby, this is Project X, most definitely.